Well, here comes Councilwoman Hurtado. Let's good evening, everyone. Let's begin the meeting. Should be a short one. City Council, Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency, successor agency, Calexico Financing Authority, special meeting, December 11th, 2013 at approximately 5:14 p.m. Looking to my right and my left, we call to order. We have full attendance. And now we will give respect to our country, and please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I will lead, please. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Moreno and second by Councilwoman Hurtado. Please vote. Okay, thank you for your vote. It passes 4-1. Now we move on to announcement, public appearances, and public comments. Note, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the council on any item appearing on the special meeting agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the City Council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council. Okay, so I don't have any slips, but go right ahead. Please state your name.
Good evening, Sylvia Burnell, Hefferman Memorial Healthcare District. We had a meeting, the JPA meeting yesterday, and we all came to the conclusion that there's a lot of need for the homeless right now. We find people sleeping out in the streets downtown. I don't know if you've been downtown, probably not at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I give a ride to somebody that's staying with me, and I drop them off about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I see people sleeping outside by Sam Alice, by the Donut Avenue. They have cartons pulled over them, and so Mr. Hodge came up with a really good idea about us giving blankets through the Hefferman Memorial. So what we're planning to do next week, it's a tentative date for next Wednesday morning. We will be going out and giving out blankets to the homeless. Mr. Nicochea has offered to, since he lives right across the street from the park, he has offered his home, that can be the base so that we can give out the blankets. And we're trying to give them out to those that are homeless, not necessarily to people that have their home, but we're trying, if you know of anybody, if you could give us the names so that we may be able to distribute to the ones that really need the blankets. And that's all I wanted to tell you. That's what the Hefferman and the JPA is planning to do. And if you have any information, you can relate that information to Gabby. Gabby can let us know who it is, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Huh? Oh, and also, I'm sorry, one of the reasons that I was here for the first place. The Hefferman Board has been working really close with Catholic Charities for the Obamacare. We have, for the last month, been registering people that need to get insured. We met yesterday from 10 to 12, and the next scheduled date will be December the 19th, which is a Thursday, and it will be from 10 to 12. This is for people that need to sign up for any type of medical assistance that they need. And also, I don't have the dates for January. It's still a tentative calendar, but I do know that the ones in January are going to be offered in the evenings, because we know there's a lot of people that work but doesn't have insurance, and those, I know that it's going to be on a Tuesday, but I don't have the dates yet. but it will be at 7 o'clock at the Heffernan Memorial Healthcare District office here. If you know of anybody that needs to get registered, please have them go, and
Okay.
we'll give you the tentative dates in January. I don't have them, as I mentioned, but next Thursday, we will be there from 10 to 12.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia Bernal. I think I have, and I'll take full responsibility, I think I've made a mistake here, and Councilman Hurtado's pointed out, it's always a learning process. City Attorney, will you please clarify what's happened and probably what was done wrong?
Yeah, just to clarify, Mr. Mayor, since this is a special meeting, the public comment should be addressed only to items.
Only to
on
the
special
item.
meeting.
Thank you very much. Take notes on that.
And that's
Only
what
to the item.
I was
Mr.
going to
Supervisor.
point that, John Redison, County Supervisor, District 1, I was going to wait for that observation, but since my topic is not that, so I won't make the announcement then. Or can I make an announcement?
I think to be consistent with the Brown Act, the item
Yeah.
should be.
Okay.
My
no problem.
apologies.
We'll come back to the regular meeting.
Even though it was important
Yes.
information, it was not appropriate to do it now. So thank you, Councilwoman Hurtado, for pointing that out. Okay, now let's move on. Business item. Adopt the resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico approving the trust agreement, assignment agreement, the lease agreement, the project lease, and the continuing disclosure agreement in connection with the Calexico Financing Authority Measure H sales tax / lease revenue bonds, issue of 2013, and taking certain other actions in connection thereto. Let me just state that this is the same item on the bonds that we've gone over and over again. It's been a long process. It was contentious. And let me just once again read what the new wording is in the bonds about the project so that we're all clear what this item is intended for. It is the intent of the council to use bond proceeds to build capital facilities throughout the city. The number one priority project is to build a new headquarters fire station. The city council will allocate $7 million of bond proceeds to acquire land, design, and then construct the new facility as soon as bond proceeds are available. In addition to the fire station, the city will set aside $2 million in bond proceeds for various park and other recreational improvements, and another $2 million to fund the city's share of a joint school district / city swimming pool. Of equal importance to the city council is the construction of a new police department headquarters station. The city is committed to construct a police facility and will allocate up to $5 million from a second series of revenue bonds to be issued within the next 24 months. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. I will second that. Please vote.
I have a discussion on this.
All right, go ahead, Councilman Kim. Remember, we've gone over this, but you are entitled.
Yes, I fully understand.
All right, thank you very much. 3 minutes, please go
I won't
ahead.
be raising the time.
All right,
First of all, for the record, I'm going to submit our ordinance to when we have a fire, police, and facility constructions, it has to be used by impact fee. This is for the record, and not the bond.
okay, sir.
Is it possible to have a copy of that for all of us?
Yes, I was
We'll get
see the
that,
ordinance.
but please, let's move forward. I appreciate that, but let's not interrupt. Go ahead, Councilman Kim.
And second, there is no details on the bond. It's not there. No interest rate, nothing. So we blank check. Guess what we happened? When we issued a bond for the swimming pool, $1.8 million, we got $1.4 million. We end up paying $4 million. So how much are we going to pay this one? We're going to pay the bond council say we're going to be paying $18 million. We're not going to know until we issue the bond. So I don't know. We don't know how much we're going to pay for that. Okay, so we should use the impact fee, the collect impact fee from the what's called the Grand Plaza, And our last of the impact fee, last couple of years, we're not collecting the impact fee. And that impact fee is supposed to be set the money for our public facility building, and we never done this. And also we have the newspaper even said that the fire last, I believe 2 years ago, early last year, so we had $1.6 million. That still, we couldn't receive it. We still have to pursuing for to get the money. And then we're not doing it. So we're not doing our job properly. We're just borrowing the money to do our job instead of our job. So we have to save the money impact fee to serve the community. I'm not against any safety building, fire department, or police departments. But our practice, we just keep borrowing the money. If we keep borrowing the money, what are we going to do? Like the last time I mentioned it, we issued the tax allocation bond. We have a $43 million balance, only tax allocation bond, not the enterprise bond. And we have a lot of payments to do it. That's why we don't have money. And I will support the other way, revenue, not the bond. We shouldn't issue the bond. We shouldn't jeopardizing our future of the Calexico.
All right, please wrap it up, Councilman Kim.
Conclusion. What we have right now, we are struggling because the last 10 years they issued a lot of bonds.
I know.
So we have to be very careful on this. So that's why I'm against this bond.
All right, thank you, Councilman Kim. Okay, any other point of
Yeah, I
discussion?
just wanted to make a comment. I tried contacting, or I did contact staff, because I didn't recall in our conversations this last time that we had our meeting that we were actually going to put a price on the future discussion here in the second to last paragraph where it indicates the 5 million. It doesn't have a page number on it, but it's the resolution.
It's where I read the
Yeah.
logic.
I don't recall having put a price on it, city manager, being that there hasn't been any surveys, being that there hasn't been any evaluations, and there's so many differences of opinions that I wasn't comfortable looking at the fact that there was a 5 million price being put on something we have no idea would be costing, and even if it would be possible in the future. Could you make any comments on that?
Well, as we stated in the prior meeting, if I recall correctly, we said that that would be up to $5 million within that time period, and there's a lot of issues that need to be taken care of before we even get to the point that we're actually constructing. And one of those things that we have to do is we have to have a needs assessment. And what the needs assessment will do is it will tell you what are the needs. And based on what the needs are, then we can start calculating how much the cost is going to be, and if in fact, how big this facility is going to be. So until we do that, we don't know what the needs are. So obviously, this is just an estimate. It could be less. Hopefully, it won't be more. But we had to put some kind of number in here. And that obviously is open to you in the future, depending on what the needs assessment shows.
Usually in something like this where there's going to be bonding for future revenue streams, is it usual where a side issue is handled this way? It's just awkward that we're working on one focus and one project, or not just one project, but one bonding issue, but yet we're making certain decisions already for the future.
Well, and
is that
again,
normal?
This is what we intend to do, and the bondholders, for your disclosure to your bondholders who are going to be buying these bonds, you have to give them as much information as you possibly can. And if that's the intent of what you're going to do with the money, then the bondholders should know what the intent is, because they're the ones that are buying your bonds.
Right, but that's what I'm trying to say, that there's no intent at this given time with these bonds here with regard to a police department headquarters. So it's interesting that it's being mentioned here within this bonding effort about something for the future. Is that normal?
You want to comment on that?
Yes, it is. The dollar amount for the PD...
Microphone, please.
I'm sorry.
Microphone, please.
The dollar amount for the PD is basically an estimate. It has nothing to do with this bond issue whatsoever. This
Right.
bond issue is going to be used for...
That's my point.
Parks, for the pool, and fire, period. That's it. The 2 years after, and Oscar, I think, stated it double point, we need to go to a needs assessment, maybe 2 million, maybe 3 million, or whatever. It simply states in writing that the city has intent to do this, and the city is committed to doing something for the fire
For the
department.
police.
It does not bind you. It does not bind you at all.
So why are we mentioning it?
This whole
Because we
issue-
care.
This whole issue will come up again in 2 years. It might be 6 million, it might be 3 million. But at least within the next 2 years, we'll have the opportunity to go out, have architects, engineers, evaluate the structure, tell you whether it's worth even savings. But please do not get confused. You're not voting at all on the $5 million tonight. That's not in this bond issue. It's strictly to go on record that you think that this is extremely important to do.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes. If in fact, in the interim of that time, a needs assessment is done, and the needs assessment determines that the current police department station doesn't need that much money, or is a good, it can be refurbished, if you will, at a lesser cost, instead of going out, buying property and constructing anew, that would be given to us in the needs assessment.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
And then we can make a decision.
So we're not making a decision on giving a $5 million blank check to the Calexico Police Department for a brand-new constructed police station.
That is not in this bond issue whatsoever.
Okay, it's a concept, okay. So understandably, that we know that building is over 40 years old, and the previous building, which was on the corner of First and Heber, lasted about approximately less than that. And we've had a discussion where our public facilities have a lifespan of 40 years or less. So this would be, something that we can look at. Now, Mr. Kim provided our legal counsel with, what was that? The
About
policy is impact fees to purchase, make capital improvements. I want to ask our legal counsel if he has a chance to look at that, and if he has an opinion on whether or not we can do this with this fund.
Well, I took a look at the policy here, and it discusses essentially having impact fees for the purposes of public facilities. And, perhaps we could discuss that with the city manager of finance about how the current development impact fees are used for the collection and particular improvements.
Right.
But I don't know the specifics of how those are collected and how much there are in those funds.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is not $7 million, I can guarantee you, and impact fees aren't that high. Okay.
City Manager, do you want to say anything about this?
Based on what I know of it, it's a policy, and I haven't seen it, but usually a policy describes what you can use impact fees for and what you are looking to possibly use them for. So in my opinion, and this is not a legal opinion, but in my opinion, it's a policy, and that doesn't prohibit you from using other funds.
Bonds.
So in other words, impact fees can be used for capital improvements in addition to other
bonds.
funds.
That is correct.
To bonds.
Okay, and in the past, impact fees from a particular development do not add up to a $7 million bond, from what I understand.
That is correct.
Okay, so if we follow the proposal from Mr. Kim, you could not build anything on impact fees, money in the bank. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Good point. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I have a counter for this, because this policy is, we're supposed to collecting the money.
Okay, let's please vote on this.
We're
okay?
supposed to accumulate the fund for the
Councilman
reserve
Kim.
for this kind of occasion.
Councilman
We never
Kim, let's
done.
move forward. No one's listening.
Okay? You cannot stop me because you don't agree with it, or you don't like it. Our policy is there.
Mayor, may I speak?
Yeah, you haven't spoken, so go ahead.
Okay.
No rudeness, Councilman Kim, but we've heard these arguments before, and we respect your arguments, but we've heard them before. Go ahead, Councilman Castro. We haven't heard you. You're so quiet. Go ahead.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm supporting public safety 100%. That's our priority, especially in this city, border town. But my concern is, again, like in page 4 on a schedule of annual lease payments. I haven't seen no principal amount, no interest, no total lease payments, and on the page 4, on the backup of this item. So again, we're still trying to pass this bond, but I haven't seen no totals amount.
Okay, that's a legitimate concern. So Marshal
Can you
Lynn,
explain that?
please address that.
Mr. Castro, Councilman Castro, it's really impossible for any bond issue, for any legislative body sitting throughout the entire U.S. to give you an accurate picture of what the actual interest rate will be. This particular bond issue will move forward to Standard & Poor's in New York tomorrow morning. We sent Federal Express. It was then rated. We are expecting it anywhere between a AA to a AAA. So the guesstimates and so on, we use a scale we have in Bloomberg terminal, all underwriters use throughout the entire U.S. We're estimating the serial bonds ranging from a coupon, the low coupon of 1.20 to 5.4. The day that we price it, and we'll price it the day after we receive our Standard & Poor's rating, is what the marketplace, the independent marketplace will dictate what the bond issue will be sold at. The rates we're quoting you are extremely close, but I can't tell you what will happen tomorrow or the next day. We can only get as close as we possibly can. It looks like that the pricing that you're going to get will have a...
Thank you.
Have a true interest rate of 4.993%, which is about the lowest that I've seen in a long, long time. So I think we're really hitting the interest rate at a sweet spot. You hear the news and so on, that quantitative easing is going to end within the next few weeks, probably after the brand new year. We've got to get things into the market. We're in a trough. And I think if you're going to do it, let's just get it done now.
Thank you.
And what, may I interject? Well, I haven't, I'm sorry, Councilman Kim, still continue. Yeah, 50, 49, 50. Councilman Castro.
Yep. Kim,
I'm sorry.
they already asked you.
No, you, sir.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. My apologies.
I'm done.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll just say something. Everybody has legitimate concerns. Boy, has this been a rough go. Just to do the right thing, and that is, the priority is to bring a fire station, but also not to forget and to do a special assessment needs on the police department. In my heart, we should be concerned about both because they're public safety. But we all agree, and we understand what you've said, that this is only pertaining to fire station, city and pool, and school district, and parks, recreation, and so forth, not the police. But yet, we do feel, as time goes on, that we want to look seriously at that, and we want to make a special assessments. Next 24 months. I don't personally, I don't want to leave them out in the cold. They're just as equal, but we understand what the priority is at this time. So I want to really get this passed. So that's all I have to say. That's my strong opinion. And so please, let's vote, or we already have.
Just waiting for Castro.
Yeah, waiting for Castro.
Vote.
Vote, please, Mr. Castro.
Sorry.
Okay, so this business item passes. And now we need to just repeat the same thing. Let's not get confused. It's the same issue, but under Calexico Financing Authority. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, second. Thank you, Councilwoman Hurtado. Please vote.
This is Calexico
Okay,
Democrat.
thank you very much. It passes 3-2, and this adjourns is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second? Ending. Congratulations.